Drink some water. Take some water first. Water's cold. I didn't want soda, but that Coke Zero is gonna do what it gotta do. Okay. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Aaliyah.Symone podcast. It's your I screwed that up, didn't I? Hey guys. Yeah, it's your girl Aaliyah.Symone, and so today's podcast I definitely wanted to talk about something that's really been on my mind lately, and it's feminine skills. So I am a woman. Not only do I identify as a woman, if we have to bring that out, but I am a biological woman, born with the V. So when it comes to like feminine skills, I feel that every woman should not only kind of naturally have this or have these skills or traits or whatever, but I feel like every woman should at least practice some of these skills or majority of these skills so they can at least perfect them as they grow older and mature. So definitely every woman would be in their feminine, I don't appreciate or like when women are in their masculine. Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody will have a mixture of feminine and masculine energy. And if I have to provide an example for myself, I would say the times where my masculine energy, I guess, was the best choice in the sense, would be when back in the day I was very competitive in sports and I would work harder, when I was in basketball, or provide that like dedication and that like focusedness to play and practice my violin for at this point 15 years almost. But at the time I've been playing for like 4 to 8 years, and so if anything, it was giving me that masculine energy, was allowing me to be focused on improving myself and also being able to actually get first chair so many times because I was just so focused and wanting to practice and very on that routine. Now, when it comes to feminine skills, I feel as though growing up, I wasn't always given the opportunity to perform or use my feminine skills. And so, let's see, I kind of want to figure out, I'm not sure if I want to go into like the definition of feminine skills, or define feminine, or I don't know. So actually we'll start like this, if I can spell. So if I had to look up the definition of feminine, or I guess we could say also femininity, on Google, Mr. Google says defining the word feminine is having qualities or an appearance traditionally associated with women. And then there's a second definition that's also in the adjective category that I didn't mention that is an adjective. Is of or denoting a gender of nouns and adjectives conventionally regarded as female. And then the noun for feminine is the female sex or gender. So I kind of want to define femininity. Your girl cannot spell. I didn't go to school for spelling, just so you know. Mr. Google says to define femininity means the qualities or attributes regarded as characteristics of women. Okay. So we kind of got that under the way. Now, when it comes to feminine skills, I did want to look up what are some feminine skills or traits that, we as women have or should naturally have, or should develop, depending on obviously, nature versus nurture and how that happened for everybody. But some of the traits for feminine skills are actually nurturance, sensitivity, sweetness, supportiveness, gentleness, warmth, passivity, cooperativeness, expressiveness, modesty, humility, empathy, affection, tenderness, and being emotional, kind, helpful, devoted, and understanding have been cited as stereotypically female or feminine. Sorry. Based on that, and that's technically from Wikipedia, but again, I Googled it, and if that's the first one that pops up, and Wikipedia, y'all can't tell me Wikipedia is not a great source. It is a good source. Even if you put in invalid or wrong information on Wikipedia, somebody will update it because it'll be the right information. But anyways, those were traits that describe femininity or feminine skills. And so I actually want to go into this other article that I have where it talks about 6 feminine skills that every girl should practice. And as I was reading it, I was like, oh yeah, for sure. So I'm just going to go into the skills that they list that every woman, girl, female should practice, which the first feminine skill that they mention. Are you listening? The first feminine skill that they mentioned is cooking. Now, I cook healthy and I can cook unhealthy foods. And me personally, I actually do enjoy cooking. Again, I got my degree in nutrition, so I do have a passion for food, but I also have a passion for nutrition and food choice, as well as people making the right decisions based on their body that will ultimately end their body into the most healthiest, nurturous body that they have ever been, not even exposed to, but ever had. And so I personally want to get better at cooking in general, but cooking healthfully. And that's definitely a journey that I will be broadcasting on my YouTube, and I can't wait to start sharing that with y'all, but obviously stay tuned. But let's go into the next skill. The next skill is nurturing children. And I agree with that, since obviously mothers are the carriers of children. Innately, they should be able to nurture their children. The third skill is cleaning. The fourth one is sewing, which I didn't think about that until they put it on this article. But coming from my background, if you know me at all, you know how short I am. When I tell you how much hemming I either had to pay for or ask for help, if I would have just learned how to sew, come on now. But the fifth skill is decorating, and the sixth one is gardening. Now that one really is low-key my favorite. But I definitely wanted to talk about those skills and traits to kind of discuss about femininity and not even why those are. Some traits and characteristics, I've already accepted it and I'm not going to question it. But I want to talk about why maybe not that us women or American women lack, but I would like to say that these are female and femininity traits and characteristics I think every woman, biological woman, should develop, because they're super important to just how the way things flow. It's like a magnet. There has to be a positive force and a negative force for them to actually connect. Because if you get a positive force and a positive force, they're not gonna mesh. Just play with magnets. Anybody who'd been playing with magnets ever, and I know y'all did as kids, and any 90s kid would definitely know, and people born before the 90s would know. So I'm not sure about 2000s and onward, but my thing is this. These are skills that are super important so you can be in your feminine. And I think every woman, and I feel that every woman should be in their feminine, and they should always be given the opportunity to be in their feminine. And I would like to slightly discuss on how a lot of women, especially in America, aren't always given the opportunity to be in their feminine, either because of the background or maybe their own misconceptions or perceptions on what it is to be a woman. And apparently, like, that is a common question that goes around these days. And when I was like 12, you kind of already knew, not like you didn't know physically or mentally or emotionally what it's like to be a woman, but you knew as a young girl what a woman is, how a woman should act, what a woman should be wearing, how should she sound. So I actually appreciate the fact that I'm even doing this podcast, because I feel like I'm learning as well on ways that I need to work on my own femininity and develop it so I can just be in my feminine, because I've honestly already been doing that. And I've seen just how I've changed just within these past, like, let's just say 2 years, on how I've been working on being more feminine. Not even like just submissive. I've always been submissive. I think what I lacked sometimes maybe would have been like that nurturing warmth that essentially women have. I would say a lot of these feminine traits I kind of already have. Like, I would say humility, for sure I have that. Sweetness, supportiveness, I definitely have that. I think gentleness is something I could definitely work on as well, because I don't know, I grew up playing basketball, so that's in a very aggressive sport. If y'all want to argue with me and tell me that sport is completely feminine, I would like to argue with you, when y'all could literally just be ice skating or doing ballet or dance or something, when that is obviously more feminine than playing basketball. I didn't say neither of the workouts or the competitions aren't fun. I love basketball. I love to watch it. I love to play it. But that is not a feminine sport. Right? You can disagree with me. I don't mind. But the way I feel is that there is, a yin and yang. And I want to say, when it comes to women, I think, isn't women are the black one. Isn't that yin, or is that yang? Y'all tell me. Let me look. What is that? How about this? Is yin feminine or female energy? Is yin feminine? In traditional Chinese medicine practiced for thousands of years, all things, both substances as well as processes, have yin and yang qualities. Ooh, I like how that. See, man, I will always respect the Chinese, because it's so much structure and order, and I love it, and I dislike it, because there's obviously corruption. But again, I do appreciate the structure, and it's like it is what it is. So yin is feminine, yang is masculine. And so, if anything, I'm trying to say there's a positive and negative, there's a force on each side. So there's always going to be a masculine force and a feminine force. And so if you're a woman in your masculine energy, and I'm just noticing, like, ooh, wow, the sun is coming down. I forgot daylight savings. It's 5:20 p.m. and I'm like, it is getting so dark in my room. Okay. But yeah, there's always a masculine and there's always a feminine. There's always a positive. There's always a negative. There's always, one end of what you would call, I guess, a spectrum. Now, there's obviously the categories and stuff like that. I want to focus on feminine energy, where, if we had to define it, feminine energy is all of the nurturing traits it takes to connect to human beings in a meaningful and fulfilling way. And I personally want to get better with my feminine energy, my femininity, because I am a woman. I am 24, going on 25, y'all. Oh my gosh. I'm a 24-year-old woman who essentially wants to get better at being a feminine woman. And I don't think I've ever had an issue. I just don't think I've always had the opportunity to be in my feminine. And what I meant to say earlier is that things that distract women, girls, from being in their femininity, I hate to say it, but one of them is school. I'm so sorry. It's definitely school. And the competitiveness of school, because at the end of the day, we all know what school is for when it comes to, at least in America, we know what school is for. We know what school is meant to do. You're supposed to, as you grow older in each grade level, you're supposed to get smarter and more educated and more of an actual functional human being in society. So when you hit the 12th grade and you finish, you should be in your final form of being able to be I don't know what adjective to describe it, but to be a good citizen in your community. And after that, it's kind of up to you, but majority of what they push is college. And if you're a woman who goes to college, is or about to go to college, is going to college, just graduated college, or maybe decided not to go to college, I think it's something to take note of, is that as soon as you're 18, I would recommend you to take a class or to practice, watch YouTube videos, whatever, in femininity or in femininity, being a woman, also how to nurture, take cooking classes, gardening classes, like get better at being a woman than just being a citizen. So obviously we need to know reading, writing, and arithmetic, but where's that femininity class that they obviously don't teach in our schools? Where is the home ec classes that are actually required for women to take? Because if you want to talk about human and development, family sciences, whatever that baby, take a baby home class that is in high school, where are the classes that teach these women, and specifically teach women how to cook, how to clean, how to grow their own food? Like, where are all these classes that are obviously not teaching these women how to be a woman or how to be feminine? And we can argue saying, well, that is the parent's role. But what is the whole reason and logic for us going to school if you want our parents to teach us things that can be useful in schools? Y'all want to talk about sex, and not even about like just about having sex or STDs and who's what gender. It should be required that whatever biological gender you were born of, you take classes based on that gender. I'm not saying you're a man and you never take, you can never take home ec. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say there should be specific classes for a woman, me, a young girl, learning not only how to garden, learning how to cook, learning how to clean, learning how to be humble or practicing humility, learning how to be gentle and warm and to take care of a baby. And sometimes it's not even just about taking care of a baby. Can you nurture yourself? Can you nurture yourself? That is the question I'm asking all of these women out here. Can you nurture yourself? And in this sense, we're not including men. Can you nurture yourself by yourself? And I feel like that question actually sparks some, for me, just if I ask myself, nurturing, like, well, shoot, I mean, I don't feel like I can nurture myself 100% because I obviously have to be at work to a certain time so I can pay bills, and I'm in a state, or I'm in an area of where I am put in my masculine energy. I'm being put in a masculine energy because I have to go to work, because I have to go pay bills. So I have to be focused. I have to make sure that I am on top of things and getting things done and going to work, getting up and going to work to be that responsible and stuff like that. But where's the time where I get to just garden? You know, obviously it's after work, but why do I as a woman have to go to work to pay bills when that is not my biological job? You know what I'm saying? My biological traits involve these traits that we talked about in the beginning. What job out there, and I'm really going to ask, what job or jobs or occupation or careers are out there where I can practice my femininity and essentially fully submerge it? If anything, I'm asking y'all that. I'm asking myself that. I'm tempted to look it up on Google. Let's see. Okay, so I typed in what jobs are in their feminine, and I guess I'll click this link. It says top jobs for feminine women. And I swear, if they give me hairstylist or nail tech, I'm gonna be like, look, come on now. So one of them is teacher. And you know, I can obviously see it, but then you could also talk about what subject, because there are more feminine subjects out there and there's more masculine subjects, which we can obviously talk about. But you know, I'm a read it. There's 29, I think, right? No, there's 20. It's top 10 careers for feminine women. The first one is teaching, a teacher. Second one's a blogger. Then we have dancer, artist, promoter, interior designer, child or pet sitter, caregiver, stylist of hair, makeup, clothes. I said that earlier. Or an assistant. Now, those all make sense. You don't work with your hands per se. You're not doing hard labor. You're not, or if anything, you're always in a. One of the traits that I would say that matches all of these jobs, one of the feminine traits that I see that would go in or match, or if anything I see would be a qualification for any and all the jobs that I just mentioned that are in their feminine, would be gentleness, supportiveness, warmth, kind, and tenderness. And you can't tell me just those feminine skills that I said alone wouldn't help you be a better teacher. You can't tell me that wouldn't make you a better dancer, a better artist, promoter, interior design. These jobs are in their feminine, but how many how many women who are in their masculine energy are going to jobs like this? Obviously, statistic I'd be wanting to look up, or I'll be willing to look up, but I'm not going to do it now. We're just more so talking instead of like actually researching for statistics. That will definitely be later. But my question more so is like, what's so cool about being a lawyer other than the pay? Obviously, that money is sweet. I ain't say these jobs aren't sweet because of the money. Or let me say this. I didn't say these jobs don't pay well. These masculine, energy dominant careers don't pay well. I never said that. But why is it so important for women to make all the money when in our nature, and if we're in our feminine, somebody is supposed to take care of us? So why can't we go for careers that allow us to be in our feminine? And I don't know. I would argue a teacher isn't feminine, because then you could get to the collegiate level and ask yourself, or just see around on college campuses, what is the male to female ratio of professors? And obviously you're going to have female professors and male professors, but if I had to think about it just now, UT Austin, I want to say I don't know, now I'm thinking it's kind of the same. Because if anything, let's just say I had a professor who was female, but the TA, who was technically also either a professor or a doctor, a PhD student or whatever, was a male. But I don't know. I guess from my own conscience, I would say that there are more male professors than female professors. And then we can argue there might be more female teachers than male teachers. Now, you can ask why is that, or you can kind of sort of infer at that level, teachers are more so dealing with, children. And then professors are dealing with more adults. So we can't argue that. But hey, this podcast was really just about feminine skills and how women should really work on it and improve all your feminine skills. And I don't know, maybe this might be the time to kind of let y'all know that it's me working on my feminine skills, but also mostly me trying to use my degree. And you could argue and say that nutrition is a feminine degree, which, I mean, I would agree with you, considering that even in my own graduating class, there was a lot more female nutrition degree holders than male. So I think that's completely okay. And don't get me wrong, if you want to study what you want to study, just study what you want to study. Just don't graduate college and complain about your degree when you had all that time to either change it, do something else, whatnot. But I want to announce that I will be working on my feminine / using my nutrition degree finally by incorporating more videos that pertain to cooking, healthy cooking, nutrition, and gardening. So with that being said, I hope y'all stay tuned, not only on my YouTube channel, podcast, but also on Instagram and TikTok, because essentially all of those platforms, I like to post any and everything pertaining to the things I love to do. And I have many hobbies. So I hope y'all are as excited as I am to see what I have to share with y'all. But other than that, I hope y'all catch me on the next podcast. And y'all have a great rest of your day. Peace out.